Hi, welcome back to the channel, Michelle. And in this video, I'm going to show you what summer homeschooling looks like for my family. So if you're new here, I have a 10-year-old, 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old son. And I'm homeschooling my oldest two right now. And I will link up above our summer schedule and our summer curriculum, what I plan on using, just to give an overview of that. I'm not going to go into specifics of that, but I'm going to show you how we incorporate everything during the month of June. So in that video in June, I talk about how there are specific things we're focusing on. So for June, we're focusing on philosophy and foreign language. So those are our group subjects for June. And then of course they continue their math and language arts and things like that. But I will show you that later. So it is currently 8 o'clock. My oldest has had breakfast. My two younger ones are running about doing something. They will shortly have breakfast, but we will actually start at 9 o'clock, and that is because we have a program at the library we have to be at 11 o'clock. It's like a story time for kids and craft and all that. So we will get the most of our work done before we leave for that, and then after that, the only thing we will have to focus on is art when we get home. So one of the first things I do in the morning, and I've shown this in previous videos too, is I prepare my kids' lunch. Yes, we homeschool. Do we go anywhere? No. But it makes it a lot easier for me, especially in the middle of the day. I don't have to stop what I'm doing to prepare them lunch, and especially on Mondays, it is really helpful because we have that library program at 11, so we will go to that and come home and they will immediately have their lunch and I won't have to do anything. So what I've done this morning so far is I've made their lunch. I've also put a load of laundry in. That's something I do every day, and by the afternoon it should be completely done for my kids to fold and put away. So I'm gonna turn it around real quick and show you what I made for lunch, because I do enjoy sharing lunch videos on my channel as well. If you're new here as well, my 6-year-old daughter has celiac disease, so everything in our lunches in our house is gluten-free, so I like to put those ideas out there for parents who are also dealing with those types of issues. So these are their lunch boxes. These are the Planet Box lunch boxes. This is the Bentco. This was my oldest lunch box when she was little. So this is my 6-year-old, my 10-year-old, and my 3-year-old. And they have pretty much the same thing, just different portions, obviously, and a slight variation. So my 6-year-old does not like peanut butter and jelly. That's what we do on Mondays. So she has jam and butter, and she prefers them separated. Let me know if you have one of those kids that they can't have their sandwiches touch. Gluten-free pretzels, gluten-free Oreos, cantaloupe, and organic strawberries. 10-year-old has peanut butter and jelly. Again, I make my own gluten-free bread. I'll link up the recipe below because it really is a lot better than store-bought gluten-free bread. So she doesn't like, she likes blueberries, and my youngest doesn't, so that's why there's a swap there. Cantaloupe, same thing. And my 3-year-old has the same thing, just smaller portions, obviously. So that is what they'll have after the library today. So between 8 and 9, I take care of my chores. So for Monday, I have to water all of my plants. And the kids have free time after they finish breakfast until school at 9. All right, it's almost 9 o'clock. I'm getting ready to start calendar with my youngest. So I'm going to flip you around and show you kind of our calendar wall. So this is just a wall in our family room, living room. So I have today's date here. We're going to do days of the week and all that. And then I did put up my kids' calendars for June. And I find it really helps if they know what's next. Only change I've made on this is we've completely gotten rid of Friday because we have co-op, we have a writing lesson, and we have book club at the library. So it was just too hard to include anything, so I just moved philosophy over to Thursday. But that is the only change I've made with the calendars so far. So for calendar, I just get down on the floor, we sing the days of the week, he puts the new number on. One thing I should mention, you won't actually see any of my kids in my videos. I don't have my kids on my YouTube channel at all. I don't think it's a place for children. So I will show you definitely what we're doing, but you won't actually see my kids' faces, and I don't mention their names or anything like that in my videos. So we're going to take care of this really quick. It's right before 9, so I'm going to do this with my 3-year-old. I'll get out his bin of stuff. Again, I'll link up above our, preschool resources if you want to know what's in that bin. But he'll pick a couple activities out of that while I start things with my other 2 kids. So my 3-year-old chose the letter puzzles. He's doing that. And then I set up my 6-year-old here. She's going to start by doing her core knowledge handwriting. So she'll pick one of those, and then we will do addition facts that stick. This is the math she's doing. She's on week 6, the last week. And then after that, we will do an all about reading lesson. So he's good here. She will start with this, which means I have time to now work with my 10-year-old on her math. So we're about to start math. So we will do the lesson together, and then she will try the workbook pages by herself while the other 2 are occupied. We are currently in the same place we have our calendar. I find it works better if, they're a little separated for concentration. So I'm going to go over this with my... Good job. I'll help you in a minute, okay? Okay. We're going to go over this with my 10-year-old, and then I'm going to go get some more activities for my 3-year-old to do. All right, so we just finished the lesson. She's doing the workbook page. My 3-year-old finished his stack of cards, and he's doing it again. 6-year-old finished her handwriting, so now we're going to move into math facts that stick. So she likes to go through and do the ones she knows right away, and then we have the 10-frame mat for her to work on for the ones she's not sure. So she's going to do this part independently unless she needs me, and then we will play the game together. Does the M and the U go together? No. Where's the moon? Is that a moon? No. Where's the moon? No. Where's the moon? Is that the moon? Yeah. Moon. All right, which one are you going to do next? Apple. Apple. Good job. Yep, that chick. So now my 3-year-old's moved on to matching. He picked that game out. Oh, my 6-year-old is still working on her math sheet, and my 10-year-old's finishing hers up. Oh, that's not a turkey. That's a rooster. Where's the turkey? That's a rooster. Yep. And my 3-year-old has now switched over to matching after doing that. 6-year-old still working on her math sheet. We're getting ready to play our game soon. My 10-year-old has now finished math. I will correct this during lunchtime. And she starts with her grammar for Lightning Lit, and then she will do her reading, and then straight into IEW. And my 3-year-old's on to the next one after finishing that. So he's doing opposites now. So I figured I'd do a time check. It's 9:33, so that's the things we've accomplished in the last 33 minutes. And as you can see, I'm just bouncing from one kid to another during this time, which is fine. Some things they can do independently, sometimes they need mom. That's fine, but that's how I rotate through 3 of my kids. It's just pretty much an hour of me going from kid to kid to kid. All right, so I'm playing the math game for this, which is Addition War, so we're going to do that. Yes, my 10-year-old is helping my 3-year-old with his habitat activity. Well, I do Addition War with my 6-year-old. All right, my 10-year-old is doing IEW right now, and what I do for that is I project it on our TV. So we have this rolling cart that goes under the couch, and it's really easy to project it onto a TV. You just have to go to your laptop's functions and go to screen mirroring, and we hook it through the Roku. So that is what she is doing right now. So I would say IEW is going well, although I've been surprised. She's on week 3 now, and they're still reviewing keyword outline, which is what they learned last year. And like I've said in previous videos, she spent the entire school year with Lightning Literature doing the exercises and things she learned in IEW. So this is really easy for her, so I'm hoping we learn some new concepts pretty quickly, but she's able to go through IEW really quick right now. So while she finishes that, I figured I'd show you what she had to do for Lightning Lit. So she had some basic reading comprehension questions, and then some grammar, and then it looks like she read this amount, so 3 chapters, so that went really quick for her. Language arts is pretty quick for her. So she just did the exercise, learning the difference between then. So again, really quick. She's finishing up IEW. I will check that again during lunch. My 6-year-old has put up her fluency sheet for All About Reading. And what she likes to do, and this was just in the back, you put a treat or snack or something at the bottom, and when they finish the row, they can eat it. So she has set that up, and that's good to go. And at the same time, my 3-year-old is doing his Cheerio book, which is this. You got to find where the missing Cheerios go, and then you get to eat it. So he's going to work on that while we do our reading.
Did you see the
No.
at that what sweet?
Oh, is there an H there? No. Eat. Sweet. Is that a B or a D?
Duh.
Duh.
There.
Duh. Deer.
Did you see at that sweet?
Duh.
Deer.
Deer.
By the
Where's your E? You're gonna do your A.
or a lake.
Okay, next one. All right, it is 10:12 and we are finished with individual subjects. So my 6-year-old finished up her reading sheet. My 10-year-old helps my 3-year-old do his Cheerio book. And the only thing we will have after lunch is art, and I'll show you what we do for that. But in about 20 minutes, we're gonna leave for the library for the storytime program for my 6 and 3-year-old. But that is how we get things done in that hour-and-a-half time frame. Everybody, and I think it helps having that calendar up to show the kids, you know, what's next. And we're on week 3 of June, so we really hit that groove and everyone knows what's to do. And we get it done really quick and it's done and they have the rest of the day to do the things they want to do. So we're gonna leave for the library. Of course, I'm not gonna show you the program at the library. I don't video my own children, let alone other people's children, but I will show you when we get home how we do art. All right, so it is noon, just got back from the library. The kids are in eating the lunch that's already prepared. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting ready for art, and at the same time I'm also going over all of my 10-year-old's core work that she did. So going over her comprehension questions for Lightning Lit, looking over her work for IEW, so I'm going to show you that really quick. So I looked over Lightning Lit, that all looks good. I marked the next set of chapters she's going to read. She's going to finish the book, looks like tomorrow. And someone asked in one of the comments thoughts on this for 4th grade. My daughter liked it. She liked that it was more realistic about people, so she enjoyed it. And then I want to talk about IEW because she went through it super quick, and I want to make sure people understand it's not going to be necessarily that quick. Like I said, she's used to the IEW structure. She did all the stuff this past year using the elements. So she was able to make this keyword outline, and she even started writing her first paragraph super quick. She did this within 15 minutes, but that's one of the things I actually really like about IEW, because she's practiced these skills so much. She can do the paper and write, you know, a 3-paragraph, 5-paragraph paper pretty quickly. So she's actually done day 1 and day 2 already of this, but this is, like I said again, is review from last year's stuff, so we haven't gotten into any new material this throughout the weeks yet. So she's done with that. That's all corrected. I've looked over that. Next, I'm setting up art, and I have this in my curriculum summer if you want to see more of that. This is an older version of this. The DVDs are definitely a little more outdated, I would say. But what's nice is with this program, so I got this off eBay for 50 bucks, and it's got all 3 modules, so A, B, and C, so this will last us a while. As you can see, A, B, C. So I need to set out the stuff we will use today. And again, when I did my lesson weekly planning, I looked at this already, so I knew the stuff we needed. So we just need construction paper, glue sticks, and white paper. And if you didn't want to use the outdated DVDs, you could certainly use just the lesson plan and teach it yourself, but I prefer to use the DVDs because it's one less thing I have to do. One thing I do really like is at the end it does have of each lesson kind of discussion questions. I also need to get out our new art study picture. And again, this came with the curriculum as well, so it's a big cardstock piece of paper. And what I do is, and it comes with, information about the artist, about the artwork, and discussion questions on the back. So we will be doing that. I'll be introducing this piece of art, and I can actually show you where I stick it. So these are our bookshelves. Again, I was just sitting right there. These are our bookshelves. I stick it right up there for the week for the kids to look at. You can see this is what we did last time, woman with a pearl necklace. And then I set up the kids' little art station. So again, that's the rolling cart. This is just a wooden TV tray from Walmart. So they have all the stuff they're gonna need, and I just need to load the DVD, and we are set to go for art. So I want to show an example of what we've done so far. So we did a drawing lesson, and we did trees. So this is what I did. This is what my 10-year-old did, and I really like that she did different age trees. So this was her as, a toddler. This is her now, and then this is her in the future. So she kind of did tree of life type thing. And this was my 6-year-old. So I think it went well. And then last week's lesson, we did a color lesson. So we did a paint palette, and we learned primary colors, secondary colors, complementary colors. And we went through and did that, and they made scarecrows. And what I really like about the program is they actually give in the video examples of kids' work, which I think is nice, because often when they do art with me, they'll be like, "Oh, Mom, you did such a great job," that they kind of compare it to me when I think they should be looking at their peers. So they went through the color wheel and used different things to make their scarecrow, and that was all done with a video lesson. All right, the kids are doing their art lesson right now. So I'm going to take the opportunity to clean their lunch boxes, put away these clean dishes, have a snack. I usually don't eat till probably 1:30. The kids eat a lot earlier than me. And I prefer to eat by myself for lunch than deal with all the noise and chaos. So that is what's going on right now. So the girls just finished. This is my 6-year-old. This little penguin sliding down and penguin popping his head up. This is my 10-year-old. This is the baby penguin, the mom penguin, and the penguin sliding down, and that one's catching a fish. Last thing we're gonna do is this art study. So we're gonna go do the artist, about the artwork, and go over the questions. So it is 1 o'clock. The kids finished up the art. They're cleaning up their art scraps and paper bits that got all over the floor. After that, they're going to fold that load of laundry that I started earlier. That's ready to be folded and put away. It's dish towels, so that should be pretty easy. I am sitting down to actually have my lunch now. I'm going to have leftovers. Usually, that's what I eat. It's leftover steak, mashed potatoes, and some fruit from last night, and I will quietly eat that at the dining room table by myself. But that's pretty much how Mondays go for us. So we spent, I would say, about 2 hours doing schoolwork today, and I'm going to actually show you tomorrow. I'm not going to show you the repeat, so all the core work and things like that will stay the same, but I will show you the group work for Tuesday, which will be foreign language, Spanish and French, and my oldest has typing, and I've been having my youngest demo Beast Academy. So I will show you that tomorrow, but I'm not going to repeat the core stuff because I think that you get the gist of how all that works. But I would say the summer schedule has been going really well so far, and I think it helps having it planned and outlined. And of course, it's flexible. Like one time last week, the girls were playing with the neighborhood girl next door, and they spent 2 hours in the morning playing, and then we just did school later in the day. Completely fine, flexible. But I know having that outline and schedule in place helps me know what we should be doing next and makes time for, taking care of myself, but also making sure I'm taking care of the responsibilities I have outside of homeschooling, like keeping this house together, other obligations I have outside the house. So the next video you'll see will be tomorrow. So we're on Tuesday now, and my 10-year-old has finished her math, and she's decided to do her typing. Again, we just used typing.com. Free, works great. She does 2 lessons a week, and that works great for us. All right, so we are on to group subjects. So we're going to do foreign language first. So we're going to start with French with my 10-year-old. So this is what I'm using. This is the teacher guide. This is the student guide. And this can be done in middle school or high school. There's a middle school path, which is the way we're following, and there's a high school path, which we might do later. But right now, I think this is just enough. Again, this is our 3rd week using it. I think it's gone really well. So my daughter follows along in the student book, and then I am currently using the free downloadable trial, and it lets you have access to the first few chapters of whatever book. They have obviously other foreign languages as well, not just French, but the online, it has online versions of the teacher guide and the student guide, and the student guide online version has clickable links, so to videos, culture things, also pronunciation guides, which is helpful because I don't actually speak French. So what I have done is I've gone through and kind of lesson planned and prep. In the teacher guide, there is a step-by-step lesson plan to follow. So I've gone through that and kind of figured out what I'm doing, because again, French is not a language I'm really familiar with. I've also gone through, and with that free trial, you have access to the printables and everything. So I've gone ahead and printed the first 2 chapters, homework or vocabulary practice. So things like this. I've also printed the end of the chapter quizzes, and what's really nice about the online option is it does the listening quizzes for you, so you have the answers for it, but I just click a button and she fills out the paper, which again is good for me since I don't speak French, but it's gone really well. So we're going to do that. What I have my 10-year-old doing right now is, the nice thing about this program is because it's meant for a public school setting, there's a lot of resources. So for example, we are using Quizlet, which is free app, and it has, we put it on our Kindle Fire, it has the flashcards for it, and it has the pronunciation, which is helpful for her because obviously, again, I'm not fluent in French. So I have her practice that Monday through Thursday as her vocabulary practice. And then we do a lesson Tuesday and Wednesday. It's already broken up in the teacher guide and everything's set up. And again, you can access all of this. You don't even need physical copies if you do the online version. But I will say it definitely takes some figuring out because again, it is meant for a public school setting. So this is the online resource, as you can see here. I chose level 1A, which is the middle school bound program. So you can see it has a lot of different resources in here. But one of the things I wanted to show was the student edition. What's really nice is you can see all the clickable links.
Les escargots.
Will give you the pronunciation of things, and that is really helpful when you get into the specific vocabulary. As you can see here, you can click it and it'll give you the how to pronounce it. Same with the listening activities. You can just click here and it'll go through the activities in the answers are in the teacher guide, but I found this really helpful because, again, I don't fluently speak French. And while I'm doing that with my 10-year-old, my 6-year-old is demoing the Beast Academy to see if that's something we want. This is a touchscreen computer. So this is an example of the lesson planning. Again, it does not take near this amount of time because you have one student, you're working one-on-one. I think maybe we spend 20, 25 minutes on this. And I do use the homework sheets for her to practice every day as well, but it's worked really well. Again, this is an example of the teacher guide. You can see here it has all the answers. So we are actually going to be doing numbers today. So this is what we'll be learning. So we just finished the lesson. We went through all the vocab, the questions. So I'm going to have her do this sections. We pretty much went over numbers and how to introduce someone. So she's going to work on this page while I work with my 6-year-old with Spanish, and of course she can use her book to answer the questions. So we just finished French up. My 10-year-old is doing that worksheet I showed you, which means I'm now going to switch to Spanish with my 6-year-old. This is what we're using. All this really entails is listening to some songs. So we're going to listen to some chapter songs. And we will do this activity, and I just do this part verbally. And then you can see here I have day 2. So that is all. We'll do that tomorrow. So we're going to listen to some songs. We're going to listen to some songs, do this verbally, and she will do this activity. All right, so I'm going to point to one of these, and you tell me if it's a niño, a niña, an hombre, or a mujer. Niño or niña?
Niño.
Niño or niña?
Niña.
Hombre or mujer?
Mujer.
Very good. All right, so we're going to connect the cookies to the jar. So this is the girl, a man, a boy, a mother, and a father. So where would hombre be?
Father.
Can you connect it all the way to the father here? This cookie to this jar? Okay, what about a niña? Would that be girl, man, boy?
Girl.
Madre.
Mom. Right?
Yes. Padre. His father. So what was hombre? Was hombre father or man? Man. So let's make hombre man. And then padre would be father, right? Which leaves niño, which is boy. So I did want to mention the things we're doing outside the house. So June is a pretty full schedule, actually. So as you saw on Monday, we had story time at the library for my 6 and 3-year-old. Today, we will be back at the library. Again, check out your local libraries during the summer. They have a lot of awesome programming, but they have family programming every Tuesday. So they have a planetarium coming in, and they're setting up a full planetarium for people to walk through, and there's someone speaking about it, so that'll be fun. Tuesday, my 6-year-old also has gymnastics. But again, this stuff is 4 o'clock and later, so when we're done by 11, they have the entire afternoon to play. Wednesday, my oldest, my 10-year-old, has a horse book club that she's a part of that meets at the horse farm she takes lessons at, and that's for an hour and a half. And again, that's not until 1 o'clock later in the day, so school's already done by then. And the only other thing we have is Friday. And again, I've talked about how I took Friday. We don't do any homeschooling on Friday because we have too many things going on, and that's completely fine. Friday morning, my daughter has horseback riding lesson, so she's actually riding the horse. In the afternoon, we have our normal co-op meeting, and then at 2 o'clock, my daughter is part of a book club at the library as well. Again, library programming. So you can see we're pretty busy for Friday, so it's okay to eliminate that one day that just was too busy to do any work. We are doing Monday through Thursday, that 2-hour chunk, usually in the morning, and it works out great. We just finished our day, and again, it took us about 2 hours. We are usually done by 11:30 if we don't have the Monday program. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we are normally done by 11:30 or 12, which is perfect. So we have about 2 hours of school. So kids are done, they're cleaning up, doing their thing. I am going to go over and correct my daughter's French to see if that is correct. Clean up Spanish. Again, Spanish only took us probably 10 minutes to do. It's really quick and easy. French definitely takes us a little bit longer. That's more like 20, 25 minutes. But that is a typical Tuesday. So that gives you an idea of what our homeschooling schedule looks for, at least like in June. The only addition we have is Friday. The group work is philosophy, which literally is just discussion and maybe 10 minutes. But that gives you an idea of how June is looking for a homeschool schedule. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If not, thank you for watching.